Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 6:30.
President Trump says a sweeping $1.37 trillion budget deal has been reached between his administration and congressional negotiators. Thanks for joining us on NBC 16 at 6:30. I am Alexis Thrower in for Alan and Jody. He tweeted, I am pleased to announce that a deal has been struck with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy on a 2-year budget and debt ceiling with no poison pills. This was a real compromise in order to give another big victory to our great military and vets. The Trump administration and congressional leaders signed off on the deal during a conference call. After the Trump announcement, Pelosi and Schumer issued a joint statement touting the new domestic spending included in the deal. McConnell said he's planning to bring the deal up for a vote in the Senate before Congress breaks for its August recess. The Department of Justice is not getting a heads up about what former special counsel Robert Mueller will say in his opening statement in Congress. That's from Mueller's spokesman, who says no one at the DOJ has seen the statement he will make at his testimony. On Wednesday, Mueller is set to speak before 2 House committees in what's shaping up to be one of the most highly anticipated congressional hearings in decades. His spokesman says Mueller has been prepping with some aides who worked with him on his investigation, and he'll mainly stick to his report during the testimony, according to the spokesman. Mueller will testify about his investigation into a possible obstruction of justice by President Trump and possible collusion with Russia. Aides say Democrats will press him on 5 areas where they believe the president obstructed justice. Also, they'll try to dig into details about contacts between Russia and WikiLeaks. This evening, the Eugene City Council is scheduled to discuss a resolution condemning white nationalism and alt-right activity. NBC 16's Alex Thrower was at the rally in downtown Eugene today in support of the resolution. She's telling us how national and local events encourage the resolution to be brought before council.
I am proud to vote yes this evening to a resolution condemning white nationalism.
Eugene City Councilor Emily Semple speaks at a rally on Monday at the Lane County Courthouse. She brought forth the idea of the resolution by the Human Rights Commission. Cheryl Jolie Boa says the resolution was inspired by a similar move in Portland.
Both Eugene and Oregon and the wider nation have seen a massive increase in the number of hate crimes.
Boa says the resolution aims to make people in the community feel safe, especially since just last month, Eugene businesses were targeted in what police are calling a hate crime.
We had this slew of swastikas and graffiti in local businesses, and I think it really cemented, for me, for the Human Rights Commission, and for the mayor and Councilor Semple, that we were doing the right thing.
Mayor Lucy Vinnis says the resolution speaks not only to what's happening locally, but what's happening in the country.
We're recognizing at a national level that we're living in a very dangerous climate.
Boa and Vinnis both want the resolution passed, but they also look forward to carrying it out.
I think the resolution will make a difference, but as I mentioned in my statement and as the mayor mentioned,
the resolution begins the action. We state our commitment to that action, but what follows is what really matters.
This is just the first step.
Saying many groups have committed to working together to take action on the resolution. I'm Alex Thrower reporting.
On to a first look at weather. NBC 16's Travis Knutson joins us now.
High temperatures across western Oregon today. Pretty warm. 86 degrees in Eugene. Roseburg made it to 87 in North Bend, Coos Bay area at 70 degrees. Big change on the way as we head into tomorrow. Satellite and radar loop over the last few hours. Notice these clouds out here over the Pacific Ocean. That is a cold front. Not the most substantial cold front, but cooler air due to arrive as we head into our Tuesday. Here's a look at those lows around the region. Mid to low 50s for our nighttime temperatures. Highs tomorrow on Tuesday. Still warm, still comfortable outside. We'll still see a lot of sunshine, but we will not be as warm as where we were at today. Upper 70s for the Willamette Valley, lower 80s across Douglas County, and 60s on the coast. But we warm right back up again. I'll give you a look at how hot things will be in a few days. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Travis. President Trump is rejecting claims by Iran that it arrested 17 Iranian nationals allegedly recruited as spies by the Central Intelligence Agency. Iran's intelligence ministry made that claim today. It comes as the country continues to hold a British tanker and its crew ceased last week in the Strait of Hormuz. NBC's Matt Bradley is in the region and reports from Doha, Qatar.
Iran says these 17 accused CIA assets received extensive training and foreign passports at the hands of the CIA handlers. Now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Donald Trump have all already denied that this is true.
I read a report today about CIA. That's totally a false story. That's another lie. They put out propaganda. They put out lies.
Now, is it true or not? It's hard to tell, and it might not matter for the Iranian regime. The Iranians have been obsessed with the notion of the U.S. spying on them and trying to undermine the Islamic Republic. It's a fixture on Iranian television and in Iranian movie dramas. So this might be for domestic consumption, pointed at the Iranian public to show that in this escalating dispute in which both the Iranians and the British have tankers that they've seized from the other side, that the Iranians still have cards with which they can play. But this dispute is still escalating.
You must not impair, impede, obstruct or hamper the passage of the MV Stena Imperio.
We just got audio yesterday showing that confrontation between the British and the Iranians when the Iranians tried to seize a British oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz.
But this is a hostile act. Let's not dodge away from that. This is a serious matter for which Iran must recognize.
Now, with this eye for an eye mentality, it's unclear how this will be resolved diplomatically. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Doha, Qatar.
It is one of the largest protests ever seen in Puerto Rico. Tens of thousands of people took to the streets of San Juan today to demand the resignation of Governor Ricardo Rosselló. Protesters turned out in the capital one day after Rosselló announced that he would not step down. Instead, he tried to calm the anger against him by promising not to seek re-election. He also announced he would resign as head of his political party. Protesters took over one of the island's busiest highways to press their demands. The recent wave of demonstrations and calls for resignation followed the leak of Rosselló's obscenity-laced online chat. People are also upset over federal corruption charges leveled against his administration. A chaotic scene in an Ohio courtroom this morning when a judge was sentenced to jail. This morning, juvenile judge Tracy Hunter learned she would have to serve a 6-month jail sentence for a 2014 conviction. When deputies started to escort her out of the courtroom, there was screams from spectators. There was some confusion, then deputies dragged Hunter out, carrying her under her arms with her heels dragging on the floor. One woman wearing a Justice for Judge Hunter t-shirt was also led out of the courtroom in handcuffs. Hunter was convicted in 2014 of illegally helping her brother keep his county job. After several appeals, the judge today ruled Hunter had to serve the 6-month sentence. Beaverton police are trying to identify a man accused of taking pictures up a woman's skirt at the Beaverton Nordstrom's rack. There are surveillance videos right in front of you of the suspect. It happened Saturday around 1 o'clock. A witness confronted the man and he took off running. If you have any information, please call Beaverton Police. Federal Trade Commission Chairman Joseph Simons, along with Director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Attorney General of Maryland, announced a global settlement with Equifax following a massive data breach in 2017. The settlement includes up to $700 million for penalties and relief to people who were negatively affected by the data breach. In September of 2017, Equifax announced it had experienced a hack that affected some 147 million people, nearly half of the American population. An FTC investigation found that Equifax failed to secure the data even after discovering vulnerabilities in their software. In addition, Equifax failed to monitor the breach system, so the hack went on and undetected for more than 70 days. Officials said Equifax's carelessness caused damage to millions.
These are strong measures that send a powerful message about the responsibility to those entrusted with private consumer information.
The settlement is the largest data breach enforcement action in history. Coming up next on NBC 16 at 6:30, infuriated Pennsylvania parents who got a notice from their child's school stating if they didn't pay their students' lunch debt, their child will be sent to foster care. Plus, could your daily aspirin dose be more harmful than effective? That and more when we return.
My home was just obliterated.
NBC 16 News at 6:30.
The music world is mourning the loss of Art Neville. The New Orleans funk musician passed away today at 81 years old. His longtime manager shared the news in a statement. The multiple Grammy-winning artist was also the recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award, a musical icon and founder of the Neville Brothers and the Meters. Neville is known for songs like Sissy Strut and Sophisticated Sissy. No cause of death was provided. According to a new study in the Journals Annals of Internal Medicine, it found that millions of users took aspirin without a doctor's recommendation in 2017. Many of them never had cardiovascular disease, but new guidelines came out this March saying that taking aspirin may be unnecessary and possibly risky. That's partly because of risk of internal bleeding, especially among people over the age of 70. Experts noted that more research is needed now that new guidelines have changed. A school district in Pennsylvania is under fire tonight for sending a threatening letter to parents who haven't paid their children's lunch bills, saying they could potentially lose their kids. NBC's Miguel Almaguer tonight on what some critics are calling lunch shaming.
The threatening letter was sent to parents at the Wyoming Valley West School District in Pennsylvania, trying to collect $22,000 owed by roughly 1,000 students. The district wrote parents, if you are taken to dependency court, the result may be your child being removed from your home and placed in foster care.
It's bordering on criminal, if you ask me, for them to pull that on families.
Sparking outrage, critics call the letter lunch shaming, but the cash-strapped district says it needs the money.
It might be a bit too heavy for some people. No one wants to take their kids away from them or to advocate that, but we were not getting a response.
With the National School Lunch Program serving 30 million children, 20 million kids qualify for free lunches, 2 million more for reduced pricing.
A growing number of states have passed or are considering legislation banning lunch shaming. Federal lawmakers are working on their own anti-shaming bill.
It's messed up. It puts a lot of pressure on the kids and the parents.
Tonight, school administrators in Pennsylvania are sending out letters of apology, but the last thing some parents want here is more mail from the district. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Turning to weather now, NBC 16's Travis Knutson is standing by for a look at what's coming up in your full forecast. Hey, Travis.
There's a storm system out across the Pacific Ocean, bringing with it some cooler air for tomorrow, but it's temporary. I'll tell you when things will heat up once again. That's in my forecast next.
Summer's not stopping. Travis Knutson.
Few clouds across western Oregon as we started off the morning. This was the view from our tower camera looking to the South Hills. There are a few clouds at 5:20 this morning. The next couple of mornings, some low clouds very similar to this are possible, but they won't do much of anything. They won't really bring us any rainfall, and they clear out very quickly. You can see here as the time moves forward, for the most part, blue skies overhead today. Tomorrow looks very similar to that, maybe a few extra clouds on the way. And the reason why we might have a few extra clouds tomorrow is because there's a cold front moving its way through the Pacific Northwest. Here's a look at that satellite and radar loop over the last couple of hours. I want to draw your attention to the clouds out here across the Pacific, sort of drawing a bit of a line. That is a cold front, but there's not many clouds riding along with it. So this cold front, it does arrive tonight, but it will not bring us any rain. We do stay dry, but it's a new air mass moving in, a cooler air mass that does have an impact on our temperatures as we head into tomorrow. But notice here, looking at the clouds rotating off to the north, this is the center of that storm just off the shore of British Columbia. It continues to move northward, which is away from us, and that's why this storm's impact is pretty minimal on Oregon. There is some rain riding along with this storm system, but it's all associated with the center of this low pressure center, and with that low pressure center moving off to the north, we just have to deal with a few clouds being sent our way and cooler air moving on in, which means tomorrow's temperatures not as warm as where we were this afternoon. Here's a look at that model forecast overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll stop it early on, where you will see things a bit on the gray side for the coast, even parts of the Willamette Valley, the Umpqua Valley, seeing conditions begin gray tomorrow, but it's short-lived. They'll see the sunshine move in for the afternoon hours. Any rainfall that does appear remains offshore tomorrow. We'll stop this again for the afternoon hours right around 4:30. A few clouds are expected for our area, but still calling tomorrow a decently sunny day, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, and most of the clouds seen tomorrow will be in the morning hours with more of the sunshine for the afternoon. Now, as far as our highs go, we were in the 80s across the Willamette Valley today. That will not be the case on Tuesday. Junction Ocean City at 78 degrees, no tie right around 76 on the coast. Florence at about 65 degrees, winds from the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's that 7-day forecast for the Eugene-Springfield region. We'll warm right back up again by Thursday. 85 degrees this weekend. We'll be in that mid to low 80-degree range with a whole lot of sunshine on the way, which is about average for middle and late July. Across the coast, upper 60s expected. There was a few 70s seen on the coast today. That won't be the case tomorrow unless you're a little bit farther inland. Myrtle Point at 72 degrees. Agnes right around 73. The extended forecast for the Oregon coast, a few extra clouds for Tuesday. We'll call it a partly to mostly cloudy day, but predominantly sunshine rules this forecast. Low 70s on the way. Saturday and Sunday, upper 60s there, but it's pretty close to that 70-degree mark. A lot of sunshine expected as well. For the Umpqua Valley, low 80s tomorrow. Remote at about 77 degrees, but Myrtle Creek will be at about 80 degrees. Sutherland right at 81. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast for Roseburg. Nice and dry, no raindrops here, and we do warm up pretty quickly by Thursday. A high of 90 degrees expected for Roseburg. Even heading into the weekend, mid-80s overhead with a whole bunch of sunshine for not only the Umpqua Valley, but pretty much all of the Pacific Northwest.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Travis. The 9th annual Youth Girls Fire Camp kicks off at Eugene Springfield Fire, giving teens the opportunity to test their skills. This week, girls will learn the ins and outs of firefighting, training under both men and women with ESFD. Girls participate in drills, lifting, hose work, and even learning how to fight controlled burns. The goal is to give the trainees real-world experience to fill out if firefighting is something they want to pursue.
And I'm so grateful for all the women who've been out here helping and volunteering and just getting us involved, because they're giving us experience we're going to remember years down the line when we're firefighters or paramedics, or even if we're not even in that career field.
The camp will continue for the rest of the week at the fire training grounds. Jobs in science, technology, engineering, and math have grown over the years. That's according to the Pew Research Center. A new program at Southwestern Oregon Community College is recruiting students to fill the need at the local level.
I know a lot of the local businesses are looking for trained technicians, and so it's important to start getting into fields like, yes, we need more. There's like a whole slew of people that are going to be retiring out, and we've got to replace them now.
The day camp is August 22nd from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It will include chemistry, anatomy, and physics experiments. The free event is for students from the 8th grade to seniors in high school. Coming up on NBC 16 at 6:30, as anticipation ensues for the new Hayward Field, we have a progress report of the construction.
You might take something for your heart.
News at 6:30.
Summer is the off-season for most students at the University of Oregon, but not so for the building of the multi-million-dollar new Hayward Field. Some pretty impressive steel work has risen from the grounds at 15th and Agate at the campus. What looks like rib cages have been installed on the east and west sides of the project. That's where much of the seating is going to be installed at the new Hayward. Huge pieces of precast concrete are due to hit the ground later this week. The new Hayward is still on track for the finish line next spring.
We're really looking forward to it for our student athletes. This is really just a tremendous spot for the sport. There's a 140-meter track under the seating.
A construction crew of 320 is doing the work of the big project. UO won't confirm a price tag for the new Hayward, but an online article on flowtrack.org quotes a figure of nearly $200 million. Oregon is currently home to 3 minor league baseball teams, but the state has never been able to secure a franchise for Major League Baseball. The Portland Diamond Project wants to change that and is spreading their message across Oregon this summer. NBC 16's Hayden Herrera spoke with the leaders of the project as their summer tour made a stop in Eugene.
The Portland Diamond Project is on a mission this summer, educating Oregonians on their efforts to make Major League Baseball in Portland a reality.
I just believe it's Oregon's time. It's Portland's time.
The Portland Diamond Project celebrated their 2-year anniversary in April. Founder and President Craig Cheek says he's amazed at the progress the coalition has made.
It's part of the plan. We know there's skepticism. It's been tried before. Why is this effort different? And so we're trying to answer all that with just going about it the right way. But it's been really overwhelming, the fan support from around the state.
By traveling to ballparks across Oregon, Managing Director Mike Barrett wants folks to know that just because the team would be based in Portland, the project wants to make this Oregon's team.
This is special to me to bring this project that otherwise can get lost by the rest of the state as just seen as a Portland project, and let people know this is a region-wide effort, and that's been our effort from the get-go.
Oregon is such a sport-crazed state, and to be able to now kind of move beyond the Portland city limits and get out into Eugene and Corvallis and Medford and Bend, it's just very cool to get out here.
Basketball fans will remember Barrett as the longtime TV play-by-play voice of the Trailblazers. After the team decided to move in a new direction in 2016, Barrett views the Diamond Project as one door closing and another opening.
That was a great 17 years for me to be with the Blazers in all those years, but this has been so fun to be a part of. To have this opportunity, I'm blessed to be a part of this project, and I just can't wait until it actually happens. And we're going to push till it does happen.
MLB to PDX, a quest to bring the boys of summer to the Rose City. Reporting in Eugene, I'm Hayden Herrera.
If you'd like to help the Portland Diamond Project in their goal of bringing Major League Baseball to Portland, you can sign the petition on their website at portlanddiamondproject.com. Coming up next on NBC 16 at 6:30, if you're a music lover, then the Coast has you covered. More on the 41st Oregon Coast Music Festival when we return.
Everyone that comes to Natural Dentures has a different story.
First Oregon Coast Music Festival is in full swing. The music continues tomorrow night with a world premiere of a brand new piece entitled World on Fire. The performance is at Marshfield High School at 7:30 p.m. The festival continues Saturday night with the Pops Youth-themed concert. Tickets for both performances are $20 to $25. And thank you so much for joining us on NBC 16 at 6:30. I am Alexis Thrower. I will see you back here for NBC 16 News at 11.